watching this video know about flashbangs and what they are used for, but for those that don't, a flashbang is another name given for a stun grenade. Similar to a hand grenade, these devices use a pull pin and release spoon to initiate a short time delay, generally around 1 to 2 seconds, then detonate. This produces a blinding flash of light, generally over 1,000 lumens, and an extremely loud bang in the 170 decibel range, which also produces a pressure wave. This pressure wave can actually stun potential targets, but generally these are used to distract and overwhelm a target, allowing for an entry team to outmaneuver opposition. These are generally very effective, but exactly how do these actually work? Our brains are wonderful creations, much like a computer, using biological neurons instead of transistors and computer chips, and biological nerves as opposed to wires. It takes in sensory information from your body, with most of that information being from your eyes and ears, at a rate close to 1 billion bits per second, or 1 gigabyte. That information is sent to your brain, where the neurons interpret, evaluate, and prioritize all of it. All of this seems instantaneous to us, but it's not. There is processing time. In fact, the latest research shows our conscious brains operate at only about 10 bits per second. That's over 5,000 times slower than 1980s internet dial-up speeds. This is mostly because human conscious thought is linear, meaning we can really only consciously think of one thing at a time. So we take in information at 1 billion bits per second, and the brain automatically filters over 99% of this away so our conscious brain can focus on the most important data coming in. Without that filtering, the incoming sensory data would overwhelm the processing speed of the brain. In simple terms, we're only consciously aware of less than 1% of the data our brain takes in, and thinking occurs in a linear process. This process has been given a name, the OODA loop. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. Our consciousness constantly observes what is around us, orients us within that space, decides what we're going to do, then acts on those decisions. These devices rely on disruption of that OODA loop. Disrupting the flow of information coming in will cause your brain to reset the OODA loop, and in fact, you can overwhelm the system enough that it can actually cause the brain to lock up, running the OODA loop over and over without decisive action. Ever hear about people who panic and freeze, not even able to move? This is what causes that. By introducing an unexpected, overwhelming light and sound event, the OODA loop process gets overwhelmed, allowing for someone to be outmaneuvered tactically. As distraction devices, all of these utilize disruption of the OODA loop, and there is a way to minimize that disruption. It's simple, really. Train, train, train. If you train with this type of equipment, you allow your brain, your OODA loop, to get used to the stimulus and therefore not allow it to overwhelm your system. Remember that 1% of data you consciously think about? Training allows your body and your subconscious to react to stimulus outside of conscious thought. That's why it's so important to train. I hope that this video is of value, and if so, please hit the like button, and if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. We appreciate any feedback as well, so let us know your thoughts. And as always, until next time, stay safe.